And welcome everyone to Coasting the Mediaverse Oscars 2026 edition.
How are we doing, everybody? I hope you guys are all having a good time. I hope you're getting all nice and cozy because we're going to have a little trip into the Oscars for the 2026 season.
This is a very special episode for all of us. Honestly, the first engaging episode we've had where you, the audience, are going to have some of your responses and answers entered into our Mediaverse.
Yeah, this is very exciting because we made sure to do a lot of media engagement right before this. We wanted to hear a lot about from you guys, and we just wanted to see what everybody else was thinking. We yap about our interests. We wanted to hear a little bit about what you had to say.
And what a great episode to start on. If you're listening to this, the Oscars have not aired yet.
No.
Or you're listening to this in the future and you already know what won.
And you're going to roast us. You're going to be like, wow, you really thought this one? You thought Sonic 3 won Best Picture? And I'm going to be like, but I thought it was good. I don't know.
And so a little context. This is a week out. We have all the information that we can know on the Oscars, what is nominated, and what you, the audience of 2026, decided should win those Oscars. But before we get into that, before we do a little breakdown of the episode, let's start off with some of the engaging things y'all left us on our Instagram.
Yeah.
So again, if you're not following us on Instagram, a great place to see posts and reels of not only what are we doing in the now and then, but also where you can be on the episode with some of your engagement. So always look out that. If you're not there, follow, subscribe.
Please do. Please do.
But starting off, these are some of the honorable mentions that some of you said were snubbed. Things that did not get a nomination or even recognition, which is blasphemy.
Uh-huh.
Let's start off. We'll just name them off and then we'll talk a little bit about them and keep going. We got Megan 2.
Yeah, I heard that was popular. Didn't see it.
Haven't seen it, but I did love the first Megan, and the second one was a crazy flip of the plot from the first one. So
sure.
I definitely would like to see it.
All right.
Lurker,
I heard was really good too.
A very good, very under the radar kind of movie.
Yeah.
Companion?
I'm not familiar with that.
You didn't watch Companion?
No.
Tragic. Roast them in the comments.
Really good?
Very good.
Okay. I'll give it a watch.
Sorry, Baby.
I have a friend who's obsessed with this movie. It entered their top 4 on the Letterboxd.
Oh, that's game changing.
So it's on my list.
I have not seen it either, but a lot of people have recommended it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Mickey 17.
Mickey 17, we'll get into it later. Mickey 17 was a very interesting movie.
I have not seen it yet. It's been on my list. Just didn't make the time, fortunately.
Yeah.
Superman
was very anticipated. I thought it was great. It was one of my favorite Superman movies in general. I think they finally did it right now. You know, growing up with the Henry Cavill ones, it's fun to go into this one.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Superman was a really good new take on
it's really optimistic.
Superhero movies and optimism in a place that we don't always get it.
Exactly.
28 years later.
Yeah, I know you have seen it.
So, loved it.
Yeah.
A new vocal stem is when...
And it didn't get any nominations? Nope. Really? Wow.
Kind of crazy.
Okay.
Definitely haven't seen it. I will do the vocal stem later. I'm not trying to break our ears so early into the Oscar. Predator Badlands, which was just a good one. I enjoyed it a lot.
I remember, so you posted this on Letterboxd, and I remember being like, wow, was it really that good? And you were like, yes, it was.
Definitely one of my favorites of the Predator and Alien series. Wake Up Dead Man.
Wake Up Dead Man was my favorite movie of the year until I watched something else that we'll get into. But for 2025, at the moment of the year ending, it was my favorite movie of the year. I loved it.
I haven't seen it yet, but I definitely got to give it a watch.
Yeah.
No Other Choice.
Heard a little bit about it. Have you seen it?
Not yet. Excited to watch it. I kind of put it off to the point I fell out of theaters and I got really sad. I was just too busy, but I am really excited for it. Everything I hear about it sounds amazing, and I'm surprised it wasn't in there either.
Okay.
And Final Destination Bloodlines.
That trailer. I forget what movie I was seeing before when it came on. The trailer, just those Final Destination movies just are not for me.
You know what? And the movie closed the chapter or even showed us the beginning of it.
Of course.
And that was great. and I enjoyed it.
None of these horror movie franchises are gonna die.
Never.
We're
never.
seeing that now.
And that's what they're going to tell you. But those are the honorable mentions. If your movie was on there, shout out to you for going in the polls and writing them down. If there's a movie that we didn't put in there that you're like, whoa, why isn't it on the list? Go on the Instagram.
Let us know.
But also let us know in the comments.
There were 1,000 movies that came out this past year. We
too many to list,
catch them all.
too many to watch. This year we'll try to better do that. But regardless, let's get into
the Oscars themselves. All right.
So we're going to start off with the category of Best Picture.
Sure.
While we talk about Best Picture, I'm going to name a movie. We're going to talk about it a bit, move on to the next, and just keep going on that route until we get to the awards.
Okay. Sounds good.
So let's start off with the number one on this Best Picture list I have, Begonia.
Begonia was crazy, man. It was so wild. I loved Jesse Plemons in it. I loved Emma Stone in it. The plot was crazy. The director, Yorgos Lanthimos, is just phenomenal. It was a great movie. I'm excited that it's in this category. There are some heavy hitters this year, so I don't know if it's going to get it, but it was a really fun watch.
Begonia gave me some really hard feelings to have in a movie theater. My stomach was curdling, and
for sure.
I definitely think, especially since it's a movie that's redoing a classic, right? It's like there is one out this already, so how do you stand out and how do you make yourself different? I really liked it. I think the performances were very great in the sense that they played exactly to the character they were supposed to be, and you would really believe, Jesse was in this mindset that he really doesn't in real life. And the whole twist, I mean, I think this is a spoiler heavy reviews. I think so. I think at this point.
Spoilers?
Yeah, I think
okay. We'll do it.
I think her at the end being the alien and then seeing a flat earth was like the highest thing for me. But I enjoyed it. I definitely walked into a Jollibee's and was sitting there just staring at my chicken sandwich for a while. But I don't think I would watch it again. I
will say, of the movies that I watched this year, I loved some more. This movie I was thinking about days after. Unlike on others that I've seen, because it really did just catch me off guard in so many ways. It was great.
Next up on the list, F1.
F1 was fun, dude.
F1 is fun. F1 was the movie that I had on my list on the catch-ups. And I was like, I'm not really excited about it so much. Same. It's going to be fun, I guess. It's probably a movie to watch in theaters. And then watching it, I went, yo, this is epic.
I didn't expect to have a fun time. And it was actually a pretty good time. It's a sports movie. It's going to have the classic tropes of that. But for what it was great. It was great. I guess it earns its spot in the Best Picture nominations. I don't imagine it winning.
I mean, vroom vroom, Brad Pitt aura farming.
Yeah,
lots of little fun tropes the mentor mentee.
The old school new school type situation.
I don't know. I liked a lot of it. Do I think it's going to win Best Picture? No. Did I have a really fun time enjoying this movie? Yeah, I did.
Surprisingly. Yeah.
Frankenstein.
I'll be honest. I watched the first scene 3 times on Netflix and I just couldn't get into it. But then when I actually sat and watched it, if we are talking spoilers, the first half I was captivated, sure. The second half was, in my opinion, was when it really started to hit. When it made it the story about the creature, it was a lot of fun, and I thought Jacob Elordi's acting was phenomenal in that role.
Yeah, I agree. I really like Guillermo del Toro. I really like what he does, and the movie was beautiful and what he's known for. But I do agree the first act was kind of a little bit of a slower start, which isn't a bad thing, but it really kicked in the second act, and it really became full circle in that moment, which was wonderful, and I did really enjoy it. but I don't think it's gonna win Best Picture.
I don't think so either. There are so many things that I want to give it more. Like I want to give other awards to this movie, but maybe not the Best Picture, just because I think there's, like we said, there's a lot of heavy hitters in this season.
For sure. And I mean, I think it's a good point to say, like, watching every single Best Picture and catching up to this point, I think everyone is in that category for a reason.
For sure.
And I didn't watch one film that I went, why is this here?
Yeah.
Right. And yeah, I think moving on to the next one that really caught me by surprise and how I felt watching it, Hamnet.
Sure. Hamnet, I knew I would enjoy it. I'm a really big fan of Chloe Zhao. I was not expecting. I knew the plot. The plot comes from the trailer. I was not expecting to feel the emotions I felt and how powerful that I'd be feeling them. It was just a beautiful movie, and if it won, I'd be very excited.
I think I'm in that same boat. Hamnet was a movie I was excited to watch, was looking forward to it, wasn't really sure if it was going to be my movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm just going to jump right into it and say, yeah, it won me to the top. I could see this being Best Picture.
Yeah.
And I think, not to spoil into the head of the conversation, there's just so many debates about which movie are going to win that I feel like Hamnet hasn't really been in that discussion.
Yeah.
It's usually like, oh, it's going to be One Battle, Marty Supreme, or Sinners. And I feel like it should be more Hamnet, Sinners in the conversation than I'm hearing the other ones, which kind of already gave some inklings, but it's just that great of a movie, I think.
It is, and I really I connected so heavy with both the characters. Jesse Buckley is fantastic. I was really surprised by Paul Mescal's performance. I haven't really seen him in other things, but I just heard him as like the hot guy in Hollywood kind of thing, where it's like, oh, people find him attractive, and like that's it. Same thing with Jacob Elordi, where I kind of just knew them from cultural osmosis. But really watching both of those actors actually perform this season was awesome, and now I really look forward to their careers. But Hamnet it's so impactful, and I could only imagine watching that as a parent as well, because watching it as an artist, I was feeling that. Like as a writer, I was feeling a lot of the themes and the story. But I think adding that element of like a parent or someone who's recently experienced like tremendous loss, like that, it was just a beautiful movie.
Yeah, no, I definitely think, I mean, as an artist, I agree. And as someone who's recently experienced some loss, and anyone else out there, like, yeah, I think they nailed it right in the heart and right in the soul, I think, as a viewer of art.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very great but tough movie in the best of those ways. And yeah, I'm surprised that he didn't get a nomination.
I actually didn't even realize that. I just wasn't focused. I wasn't paying attention, I guess, like looking at these things. But yeah, him not getting a nomination is shocking.
Yeah,
he was great. But yeah,
and shout out, I'm forgetting the son's name, Hamlet's name, but phenomenal performance from him too.
I think all three of those children were actually great actors.
Yeah, I mean, great cast ensemble. Yeah. Next one, Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme. Those orange balls were all over the media for months.
The It's So Me For Real movie of the year.
It was my first movie of 2026. Like watching
was my first movie too.
Yeah. I mean, it was a fun ride. It felt like Uncut Gems in that sense of, the sense of urgency. I love ping pong. It had a lot of things going for it. And, Timothée Chalamet's been gunning for an Oscar for a couple years now. And if this is his year, I'd respect it.
Yeah, I can definitely see why this movie's on the list as well. Like I've said before, I think it was a phenomenal movie. I think to take away for a second from Uncut Gems or from his Oscar attempts, like the movie itself was just through and through in the acts.
Yeah.
Very powerful and very stressful.
Yeah.
And you kind of felt the emotions throughout each character, mostly following Marty. And I think it's, again, one of those movies like we talk about with the casting every actor casted for the role, I think, was the perfect choice.
Like, I actually didn't even realize that one of the categories for an award is best casting, and we're not going to talk about it today, but I think it should win that, like, hands down. I think every person in that role, from Marty Supreme, you know, from Timothy Chalamet, Fran Drescher as his mom, all the way to what's the Mr. Wonderful, the billionaire, the
Just call him Mr. Wonderful.
Him being that role, basically playing himself. Everyone was playing themselves to some degree, but that also made them just feel more alive. And it was just a really cool experience.
And that's one of my biggest takes from the movie is like, yes, they pretty much cast someone who is closest to each role of who they are as a person in real life.
Yeah.
But that's why it works, because for the most part, Mr. Wonderful aside, I think was literally just being him. And
Yeah.
don't even get me started on that
No,
guy.
I heard that the vampire line wasn't even
Yes,
scripted. I
that
heard
was
that
him.
he just like pulled Timothy Chalamet on the side and just was saying it. And they were
Literally.
like, all right, let's keep it in, I guess.
Just go with it. But everyone else knew the assignment and made it like a masterpiece of their own work, right? They were like, okay, I'm kind of like this character in these ways. Now, how do I flip to be that character?
I think there's no problem like playing a character that's like yourself, like typecast almost.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, and that's my one thing. Like, I like when actors can play a character who is kind of like them or similar
Yeah.
to them, or even maybe like their skeleton.
yeah.
But it's not that they're playing themselves, they're playing that character. They could just
Yeah.
relate.
And it was more so them like dialed up to 11, you know, like it was their personalities and everything just very much
100%.
on them. Yeah.
I agree.
But yeah, it was a good watch.
Then moving on to another watch.
Uh-huh.
One battle after another.
I want you to talk about this first.
Why is that?
Because
Why is that, Brian?
here's this thing. One battle after another is really good. It's winning awards. It's winning all the awards. I'm going to say a hot take. Maybe. I don't get it. I really liked this movie. I gave it a 4.5 on Letterboxd. I thought it was a lot of fun. The problem was, everyone that saw it, like the first 2 weeks of opening, were promising me that it was going to be the best movie, maybe of the decade, hands down. Like, everyone was obsessed with it. So I went, okay, I'm ready. I went in, and it was fine. I'm going to be honest. You can't make a political movie and then not kind of follow through on it. And my biggest thing is that Hollywood is so obsessed with this movie. Like all the actors, all the awards, they are so excited with this movie and they're calling it like the leftist film of the year and everything. And in my opinion, that's so shallow and just hollow. And, you know, not to get too political, but for Paul Thomas Anderson to go on stage during the Golden Globes and not talk about Minnesota when it was happening, like at the height, I don't know. I feel like if you're going to win an award for One Battle After Another, and then you're going to go on stage and you're not going to talk about these things that are happening in the world, you're kind of fake.
And you know what? I'm in agreement with you. I feel like this is the hard part about the Oscars and the movies. In the debate of the awards, I try my best to leave those things aside because I'm trying to be very honest about the movie itself and not the after effects.
Sure.
On a personal level, yeah, I think you can't make a movie like PTA did and then be silent.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to say fuck eyes, fuck eyes.
Fuck
right?
eyes.
Fuck
Yeah.
eyes. And you get people like Mark Ruffalo who are out there not even doing
Yeah.
movies like this, having a statement piece on the carpets.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? You can't do this movie and be so quiet about it and expect people to really feel like you did it for a right reason versus, you know, taking advantage of what the market might want and the people who are looking for that.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
Yeah, that I don't like, that I disagree with. My hope is that maybe he's waiting for these Oscars.
Maybe,
right?
Hopefully, maybe he
Come on our podcast, talk about what you hate eyes. Like, we're here for it. This is your platform.
I would love to be eating my words next week, because I don't know. I was very disappointed in Paul Thomas Anderson getting on stage at the Golden Globes after winning and then not saying a thing about what's going on in the real world, because the opening scene, people are getting broken out of, like, they're breaking into those, like, the camps essentially.
And that's also the thing, I guess I will say, like, we don't love the Oscars truly in like the sense of the Oscars are the best thing ever. That means the movies are good because you won an Oscar.
No.
They're it's a concept. It's an idea. I wish it was
Yeah.
better, but it's not. And a lot of the times it can be
It's like a
kind of
known thing that the more money you spend on marketing, the more likely you are to win.
and
So
hopefully it changes. Hopefully things have been changing. I can't really tell you, but I also guess I retract and I say, no, fuck it. If you're gonna win an award somewhere else and you have a statement, say your statement, and then if you win something at the Oscars, say it again. Because
Yeah.
we need to keep saying these things.
Agreed.
We need to be active about what's going on, and
Agreed.
if you're gonna make that movie, do it.
yeah,
However, to just talk about it in the movie sense,
and the movie sense.
yeah, I think for me anyways, that a lot of that stuff hits home. A lot of that is
Sure.
like this is crazy to be seeing on the screen in the time they're at right now, and I appreciated that
Sure.
because it is a crucial thing
Yeah.
to be seeing and not getting like red tape around it.
Yeah.
And I think from a movie performance in general, everyone really did commit to it. And even I really liked was even supporting characters like Sensei were really important to the structure.
Yeah.
You have one person, one supporting character, you know, not there, missing, the movie can't happen.
Mm-hmm.
And that it was great. I really enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, there were a lot of really good cinematic choices like the hill scene that we all really
The
like,
hill scene
things
was
like
great.
that. So it was shot very beautifully and the premise was great, and I can see it being in the discussion for best picture. Do I think it deserves the win? In the beginning when I first watched it, I was intrigued by that concept, but after seeing other things, I don't think so.
And that's the thing I want to stress. Like what you said, accurate. Like I actually really enjoyed this film. It's just everything that's come after it that's kind of just rubbing me the wrong way. I had a great time watching it. I thought Leo did great. I thought Benicio did phenomenal. I loved every millisecond Sensei was on screen. And I kind of just wish that most of the movie was just Leo and Benicio just together.
Yeah.
Because every time they were together, it was
A secret buddy
phenomenal.
cop film.
Yeah.
I mean, and I want to say shout out Leo for doing that whistle. So good. But moving on, we got The Secret Agent.
Secret Agent. Talk a little bit about that.
So
'cause-
Secret Agent for me was a surprise, a wonderful surprise, because I
Mhm.
walked into it not really knowing much, and it kind of reminded me of old Hollywood.
Sure.
The colors
Yeah.
in the film were just so vibrant and so, you know, apparent in a way that wasn't just kind of flashy. It was
Mhm.
like just the tone of the movie.
Yeah.
And I thought that the pacing was done very well. And I think Wagner did a really great job of playing through the different roles that he had in the film. And
Yeah.
again, appearing as someone multiple times and not realizing or believing they were a different person every
Sure.
time you saw them. And I also just think there were bits and pieces of a movie that, even though it was a very seriously toned film, took itself in a very fun and engaging way that felt almost
fair.
natural. Like when they're referencing Jaws and talking about the ideas that are going on in the town, or just like normal dialogue behavior, I thought was really nice to see and kind of refreshing. And then the end credit scene, when you get to see each actor who appeared in the film with their title card of their name, I thought was just so reminiscent of older times. And I don't know, it stood out to me. It's a very long movie, and I think a lot of people didn't really enjoy the pacing. But I just feel like, again, there's a lot of people who don't want to sit through a movie for a long time. We've had that debate, and I think it was right at the amount of time it needed.
Yeah.
And I think it was great. I don't know what else I would change to make it better. I know a lot of people debate the ending as well, where, spoilers, when you get to the ending, you do not get to see the main character die.
Yeah.
He dies off screen, and it flashes to him in the newspaper article basically saying he's dead. I think it's better that way. I think it really
Yeah.
resembles his son telling the story at this point and not really knowing what happened, how it happened. And that was taken from him, so it's taken from you, the viewer. That
Sure.
chills. When I think about it like that, yeah, love
Yeah.
it that way. And I think that's how it was intended. I can't say 100% it was because I don't know. But when I see it from that lens, I love it.
Fair. Honestly, everything you said accurate. I I've heard a lot of the similar things. To me, I couldn't connect a lot with it, but I do see why it's in the category. I do see why it's here. I don't know if it wins, but I'm glad that it was nominated at least.
Yeah, I definitely get that. Up next, another one that has up and down reviews, and not a bad way, but just people trying to make an understanding of it. Sentimental Value.
Okay.
I, again, really enjoyed this film. It was a film that I wasn't really sure was going to hit me as its market because I had no idea what it was about. Um, but walking into it and slowly starting to see the story between father and daughter and the differences you can have with growing up as siblings and having an impact on yourself different than, whether you're the oldest, the youngest, and also the distance you could have as a person without having like a parental figure, really in your life. They're there but not there. And some of those concepts I understand from a personal level, some of them I don't, and I got to see through their lenses. But being able to understand those emotional substances was really captivating for me in a way that I've never felt before.
Yeah.
And I think in a lot of foreign films I see, they usually stick to one language. The back and forth from, two languages was kind of exciting because it was almost like engaging to an audience that did
I was actually about to say I find it's engaging to do that.
the speaking to in English and back and forth. And like when Ella was there as the actress who is taking over for the daughter who's supposed to be the actual main actress in this story, but she chooses not to because of her issues with her father. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of crazy to see the lens of someone who is supposed to be one of the best actresses of her time, and he even calls her like, this is the actress of the decade, and she herself can't commit to the role because she knows it's not for her. She knows that the director, the dad, really made it for his daughter, and she's never going to be able to live to that spotlight. And she even touches in on it in a sense of like an artistic like enjoyer and person who commits everything to their art and their craft of movie making. She couldn't do the justice of faking it because that just would take away from what his art was like. And that's why she really loved his art and why she was even inspired to do this project in the first place. And that last shot when she is in the kitchen making the sandwich for the son, closes the door to go to her room and to, go on the chair and put the rope around, was really freaking hard to see. To then realize they were doing the film the whole time, and she ended up doing the role. Yeah, that was hard. That was really hard to see. And it's really tough to idealize concepts like that are really sensitive to people who have had any sense of loss in their life. And it's hard to see on screen as a viewer, but I think they did it with respect and care.
Incredibly well said. Definitely a lot of heart to this movie. And I just really, really appreciate Stellan Skarsgård as an actor. He's, just seeing him growing up in like different things. Me growing up and seeing him in different things has been great, and just, it was just a great film, like I said.
Yeah, him and Renee had wonderful chemistry.
Yeah.
And then moving on to our list, we have Sinners.
Okay. Sinners is, we went from two like heavier things, but yeah, Sinners is a lot of fun, man. Sinners is awesome.
Sinners is a movie that I'm happy is getting recognized in the way that it's getting recognized because it deserves all of it.
I absolutely love that it's an original screenplay. I love that not because it's an original screenplay, but I love that it's the most nominated like for the Oscars ever. Or it's maybe tied, or is it?
No, it beat.
It beat. So it is the most nominated film ever, and I'm so glad that it's an original. Like it was written straight from the director, like the writer-director Ryan Coogler. I thought the atmosphere of this world, I thought the lore, the themes, everything meshed so well together. Um, it was every idea and choice that he made worked so well. We'll get into a little bit when we talk about other nominations and other things. But Miles Catan,
Yeah.
he, I know he's an R&B singer, but has a beautiful voice and like it's phenomenal. And his portrayal as for Sammy was just out of this world, and I loved his story and I loved everything that they did. I thought Michael B. Jordan was fantastic. Those twins, while they were so similar, I can tell which one was who, even though like they wore slightly different things. Like it mostly came down to color. There were times where you couldn't really see the color because of like the dim lighting or whatever, but you could tell based on like how they were
The
talking.
cadences that they're using, the
Yeah.
verbiage. Yeah, for sure. I
And
agree.
it was just so great. And like I said, every choice that he made, like making Ramek, the main vampire, Irish, goes into the themes of assimilation really well. And also the choice to do like themes of assimilation in a vampire movie is just icing on the cake. To me, like Ryan Coogler's a genius for thinking of that.
I mean, yeah, like, were you kidding me? A horror drama film. Already love.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of my favorites. And the lore, outstanding, right? We don't even have to touch on it as much. And that's what I really love. And I think
Yeah.
is really, maybe perfected is a strong word, but very important to a lot of horror films where you get a glimpse of an idea of the lore. And when they talk about it, it's done so well, like the
Yeah.
dance scene
Yeah.
and talking about, how powerful that passion of the performance really is in a different sense of the supernatural.
There were two musical numbers essentially in this film, and both of them were mind blowing. The first one being that it's kind of like Sammy's power in that his music is so generational that he connects to the ancestors past and future.
Genius. Yeah.
That scene being like essentially one take is incredible, and I love the ideas behind it. I love how it explains the lore a little bit. Not that this world has like a magic system or anything, but like it essentially does, and that's kind of it.
I mean, and that's the thing. It does, and we don't understand it because
Yes.
we won't really know, but it's that feel.
Yeah.
And also, like, the idea of it passing in generations, like you said, past and future and present. And also, like, just diving into culture, which is a huge thing about this movie, is just so freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that scene, I was not expecting that scene at all.
No, my jaw was on the floor the entire time of that scene, and I just did not expect it. And then it goes through the fire in the thing, and it's like, oh, they burned the house down. And
Yeah.
It's just, they're all partying outside. It's crazy.
And why I loved this movie and why I think Ryan Coogler is a genius for it is just the risk that they took, right?
Yes.
That scene could be probably maybe the more controversial scene in the film because it does
sure it is.
adding future elements into a performance like that and showing the different generational perspectives of people with the same power can, if anything, take away from the realism that some of the viewers are
Sure.
looking for. But again, you're watching this movie that is breaking your realism. It's just genius. It's so good.
It's so surreal, and it comes out of nowhere. I'm doing like quotation marks because like it comes out of nowhere, but it's also like, of course it's there.
And that's why it's so epic.
Yeah.
And like epic, I think, is the best word to describe it because epic is good.
Yeah.
Epic is like a phenomenon that you don't experience more than once.
Yeah. And the first ancestor that comes in is from the past, and you're like, oh, we're going to see a bunch of past ancestors. And then you see the electric guitar come in, and like the outfit's clearly like the 80s, 90s, and you're like, whoa, this is nuts. Like, we're doing something different. And then you see the turntable with the DJ.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are we doing? This is awesome.
Awesome. And I do think that he's also someone I'm surprised didn't get a nomination for a best supporting actor.
Miles.
Yeah,
agreed.
I think for someone who was more a singer and kind of just taking the chance to do acting, blew it out the park.
Yeah, I mean, you start and end the movie with him, and sure, I know, Michael B. Jordan got the nomination for Best Actor, but a lot of this really essentially was Sammy's story. So I don't know. I feel like not giving him the nomination, Miles, was a little disappointing.
I think they both deserved the nomination.
Of course.
And I don't understand why he wasn't.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
Yeah. But
And
Sinners, amazing.
Sinners again, Best Picture conversation, 100%.
Yes.
Last one, Train Dreams.
Train Dreams. What was your thoughts on it? We haven't talked about this.
Train Dreams was definitely a film. It was.
Yeah, it was.
It was something that made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
It was done gorgeously.
It was beautiful.
I really loved seeing where they went with it, and was hurt in a way that I didn't expect to come from this movie.
Yeah.
And I think there was a real, how do I describe it? I wouldn't say cowboy or western is the right word I'm looking for, but there was a true salt and pepper vibe to it.
No, so like a lot of the themes kind of went into modernization, and like the Wild West is essentially being modernized, and that's a big trope in like cowboy movies and like western movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a really big part of it, and like while he's not a cowboy, like it definitely had those vibes.
And I guess what I'm trying to say is like where he is not inherently a cowboy yeehaw kind of guy.
Yeah.
He has everything else that comes with being, I think, an authentic like cowboy character we like seeing, and you know, very earnest, very head to the ground, very determined in the ways that he set his mind to. Stoic type. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I think it is something that where you were speaking about movies that had you thinking for the next couple of days, Train Dreams definitely had me thinking for a while.
That's cool. I'll let you in on a little secret. I did a double feature to kind of catch up on some of these Oscars, and I watched Train Dreams and Hamnet back to back. Bro, I was shaken. Because both of those deal with loss significantly. And to do those back to back, I was emotionally wrecked. But, because they're gorgeous films.
Let you know in a little secret, I did the exact same double feature, but backwards. I watched Hamnet with my mom, which is impactful in its own way.
Oh my God.
Mom-son parental movie in Hamnet. And then taking a break from sobbing with my mom, talking, going, okay, I'm going to go watch Train Dreams now. This one should be fun. And then being devastated once again.
Because I really didn't know what Train Dreams was going to be about going into it.
Yeah, I had no idea.
I didn't watch a trailer. I kind of just saw that it was nominated and just went to Netflix. But yeah, I'm happy that it was nominated. I'm happy that it's there.
And yeah, I think those, like I said, every single movie on this list was nominated for a reason.
Yes.
And I do agree with what is to come next.
Yeah.
You don't know what that is.
Wait, but real quick before we do, what do you think is going to win, and what do you want to win?
For Best Picture?
For Best Picture.
This is tough. This is going back to what I said. I know there's a lot of debate. I'm between Hamnet and Sinners.
That's for the want or for the, what do you think?
Oh, for want. So what I want to win is one of the two.
Okay.
And my belief is that Sinners is going to win.
You think Sinners is going to win?
I think so.
I really hope so too, because I hate that we agree. I'd want us to have a little variety, but I would love if Hamnet or Sinners won. I thought those are my two favorite movies of the year, essentially. Yeah. But I do think one battle after another is going to win.
Oh, interesting.
I don't want it to win necessarily.
Sure.
But I do think it's going to win.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see. But like I was
Prove
trying,
me wrong,
what I was going to get to.
Yes.
Something that we can now look forward to.
Yeah.
What you, the audience, the fans, the viewers, the chat, have decided what should actually win these awards, and not whatever the silly Oscars think are going to win.
Yeah. So whoever the Academy is. These guys.
So if you put in a vote, thank you for participating. Now we get to show you what actually won based upon these these,
Let's get
differences
into it.
and similarities. And Brian, you have no idea, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Let's see.
So, welcome to the 98th Academy Award nominations, brought to you from Coasting the Mediaverse fans.
Let's go.
Actor in supporting role.
I want, and I think Lordy is gonna get it.
And
Yeah.
the fans decided Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein.
Jacob Elordi, let's go. Yeah, he was great. He was phenomenal.
Again,
I think
I
if
agree.
Miles Katon was nominated, he'd probably get my vote. But when I looked at the nominations, I really want Elordi to win.
I think, again, same thing. I think Miles deserves a nomination, if not a win. But Jacob Elordi really locked into this performance, and it's kind of what carried the movie for me, as we said.
Yeah.
I think everyone else did a very fine job, a very good job, if that, in being a supporting actor. But I think a supporting role for me really has to hold a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not to digress on anything that anyone else did. Obviously, I loved Sensei, but loving Sensei as a character doesn't necessarily give me the win.
If he was in it a little bit more, he could probably get my vote, but yeah.
But hey, everyone that was nominated, I think, did wonderful.
Sure.
So shout out to all of you, but Jacob did win.
Yeah.
Next in the list, actress in a supporting role.
Uh-huh.
What do you think would win, and what do you think should win?
I think... Let me take a look. I think Teyana Taylor probably won. Oh, are we? I think Teyana Taylor is gonna win the Oscar. I think people voted for Amy from Weapons, Amy Madigan, and I personally want Wunmi Masako.
Okay, and again, everyone on this list I think is well deserving. I think who is going to win in the Oscar sense is probably going to be, surprisingly, I think Amy McAdam. Surprising in the sense that it's kind of newer for like horror movies to really get that recognition. And as again, a supporting actor for a character, the movie couldn't be the movie without her.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that's the reason why people are realizing that.
Yeah.
Now on to what really won for our fans. Drum roll for this one.
Ooh.
It is a two-way tie.
Whoa, we got a tie?
We got a tie between Amy McAdam and Wunmi Mosaku.
Mosaku, yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
That's awesome.
It was so surprised with the tie and the win, and I love that. If we can give them both the Oscar, yeah.
Yeah. And I think they have been winning. I think both of them have been winning back and back, so great.
Either one,
wonderful.
Very happy with.
Yeah.
Next on our list, actress in a leading role.
Actress in a leading role. Oh boy, I wonder who's gonna win. Guys, if Jessie Buckley doesn't win the Oscar, it was rigged. Because she has won every award in award seasons, and rightfully so. Hamnet was her movie, and it was perfect. I don't use that word lightly. She did a perfect job in that movie. Every action was perfect, and her acting was phenomenal. Jessie Buckley all the way.
And again, I think everyone on the list, well deserved. I think even for a movie we didn't talk about, If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You.
Sure.
Very interesting movie.
Yeah.
Rose did phenomenal.
Yeah, and I mean, I loved Emma Stone in Begonia too. For a while before I saw Hamnet, I really saw her as the winner too.
100%. I watched Hamnet and I went, yep, Jessie's winning that.
Uh-huh.
So what did the fans say?
Oh, I wonder.
Everyone agreed. Well, I guess not everyone agreed, but yes, Jessie Buckley has won the Oscar.
Our fans are based.
Next in the list, actor in a leading role.
Actor in a leading role. Oh, this is a good one. We have a lot of people that it can go to. I don't think it's going to be Leo. Me personally, I really want Michael B. Jordan. If Timothée Chalamet gets it, fine. Give him that Oscar so he can, stop bothering us. I'm kidding, people.
Yo, I play board games with that guy. I need you to chill. No, but again, great list of nominations, and I think it is between Timothy and Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
But what did the fans have to say?
I think they're gonna say Michael B. Jordan.
And they in fact went Michael B. Jordan.
Oh my god, our fans are so based, and you guys already knew that.
Shout out to the Michaels out there.
Shout out to the Michaels.
Definitely deserving of the win.
I think if Michael B. Jordan or Timothy Chalamet won, I would be happy. But I do think Michael B. Jordan did a phenomenal job.
For sure. Definitely deserved. Next, directing.
You know what? There's a few where this can go, and at the end of the day, I'm really okay with whoever gets it. I think these were phenomenal directors this time around. I really want Ryan Coogler. Sinners was nominated for so many things. If he wins every other nomination, I would like Chloe Zhao to get this. Chloe Zhao directing this. I think these actors did such a phenomenal job, and everything was pieced together so beautifully because Chloe Zhao is a phenomenal director.
And I'm in the same boat. I think, again, when I first watched Sinners, I was like, yep, that's going to be my favorite choice for directing, and I really stand by what Ryan Coogler did. And then I watched Hamnet and went, damn, Chloe really knew what she was doing to you, and I can tell. And she really cared about this. So I would not be upset with either or of the wins.
I do think when it comes to the Oscars themselves, I do think Paul Thomas Anderson or Ryan Coogler might win. I think that's kind of where it's leaning. Would love if Ryan Coogler did. I do think our fans voted for either Ryan Coogler or Paul Thomas Anderson.
And guess what? We have a two-way tie from our fans.
For those people?
Not at all. Ryan Coogler and Chloe.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Our fans are so based.
I think our fans really get it, as we do too. I think it was so fun watching this poll to see a split in a good way.
Yeah.
Because some people would vote certain ways for other ways, but notoriously, I think they recognize kind of the same feelings we're having about these films, which is so awesome.
Oh, that's a great feeling. I hope one of those two get it because I love them both and I love their films, and as filmmakers, they're phenomenal. I'm excited for them.
And last, biggest one, if that, Best Picture.
Best Picture? All right, well, we got into it. I want either Hamnet or Sinners. I think the Oscars is going to give it to either Sinners or One Battle After Another. And the fans?
And the Best Picture 2026.
Coasting the Mediaverse fan base.
Sinners!
Let's go! Okay, good job.
This one, no matter where I think people were split, everyone pretty much was on the Sinners. Needs to deserve this Best Picture, and I get it.
Good.
I get it.
I think you guys all did a great job. I think you guys nailed that. That was perfect.
That was so much fun. Thank you all for voting.
I'm very excited about this because I love when the community gets involved, because we really like talking about movies and we want to talk about them with you guys.
Yeah, and I just love the engagement. I really appreciate everyone putting in their polls and sending us messages and kind of talking more about the conversation with us. So this was for all of you.
Yeah.
And for that, I decided it'd be fun to create our own little awards to give out. And I sent Brian a list of things and said, hey, I need you to decide these answers for you. Yeah. And don't tell me them.
Yeah.
So this is going to be live for the first time for both of us. And these special new awards for Coasting the Mediaverse 2026.
Coasting the Mediaverse Oscars, our own individual categories.
So, Brian, welcome to Coasting the Mediaverse Honorary Awards. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're going to start off with movie and film of the year. These are two separate categories. If you've been listening to us now, you know we love to break things down in movies and film. What the difference between a movie and a film, can you remind them?
Basically for us, a movie is something that's going to entertain. The production company made it to put butts in seats, and it's just to have a good old time. A film is a little bit more art house. It's trying to say something. Not that these are one or the other. Most movies or films fall somewhere in between. It's just the two polar opposites is butts in seats and, art house themes and, really trying to say something.
For sure. And I think the more I start to think about these two categories, I think eventually we should make a third, crescent moon category that is what is the middle between the two.
Interesting.
Because I think, an example for that Best Picture, Sinners, I think is a perfect idea of movie and film.
It goes right down the middle.
And it's right down the middle. So...
And that's the other thing, before we get into these, I want to specify that just because we call something a film or a movie doesn't mean it's bad or good. Something you can have an amazing movie and a terrible film. And I would prefer the movie of that because it was more fun to watch and I just liked it overall. It's just more about what the movie itself is trying to do, not necessarily how we feel about it.
100%.
And that's why Sinners is right down the middle, because it's doing both and it does both phenomenally.
Last time, movie and film does not mean it's good or bad. It's just how we classify in categories, and we think it's fun. So, Brian, what is your 2026 most movie of the year?
My most movie of the year, it is a nominated film. It's in the film category for the Oscars.
Yeah.
But the most movie of the year is F1. It's gotta be F1.
F1 is quite literally gas.
It's so crazy. It's such a movie. It is just trying to just be cool and aura farm and, race speedily.
Definitely, yeah, 100%. And I almost gave F1 movie of the year.
Oh,
but I didn't.
You changed it up.
Movie of the year for me is Superman.
You know what? That's
because
totally
I
fair.
think Superman did similar to F1, like had fun, enjoyed what it was doing, had a purpose, but it was just more in the sense of like getting the butts in the seats, the ideal, and there's a lot to learn from the movie. But it also was one of the movies that a lot of people watched and went, "Yeah, I need to be more like him," And
it was a great movie.
I think it was fun. It was very fun.
For sure earns that. So nice. I like that.
Next, most film of the year.
Most film of the year. I'm just realizing now I kind of went basic with sticking to Best Picture nominations. But Train Dreams. Train Dreams was a film, man. Wasn't my favorite of the year, but it was trying to tell you something.
Fair.
Not in the same way, because I said earlier that I compared Hamnet and Train Dreams. But Train Dreams was going to do something. It was trying to accomplish you feeling something, and I think it did that super well. It had a lot of quiet moments. It had a lot of moments where you were just like focusing on one thing. The cinematography was being played around with, a lot of dark moments, a lot of like brighter moments. I think it was just done really, really well.
Sure.
Yeah.
And for that same sentiment in a different nominated movie, I gave it to Secret Agent.
Okay.
Because I think it was, again, very film. That's how I talk about it. It's how I consider it, doing practices from older film movies to modernizing them into their own world. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I definitely think where Train Dreams was something I thought about for this category, Secret Agent just hit the nail on the head for me.
That's fair. That's very, very fair.
Next.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready for this category?
Of course.
That I'm filibustering for the disappointment of the year.
The disappointment of the year. Yeah, I gave this to Mickey 17. Here's the thing. When this was introduced, when this was announced, and it was Robert Pattinson and Bong Joon-ho, I was like, wow, this is going to be a perfect movie. This is going to be my favorite movie of the year. This is probably going to sweep at the Oscars. And then I watched it, and the first act is great. The second act is pretty good. And the third act is just doing too much. And I was so disappointed leaving the theaters because I had a good time. But I was going in thinking this was going to be my best movie of the year, hands down. So when it wasn't, I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I should have said in the beginning, disappointment doesn't mean that it was bad. It just means you were feeling something different. And I can't defend it because I haven't seen it. And I'm also in that category where I think it's going to be a great movie. So I'm hoping it meets that expectation and you're just wrong.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I was going into this movie thinking that it was going to be in my top 4 leaving the theater.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I was really disappointed when I was like, no, I can't put it there.
And then for me, my disappointment of the year was Until Dawn.
Oh, yeah?
A movie based on the video game.
That's so
This is the thing. If you took away the Until Dawn marketing that it was given, it would have been fun. A great fun movie. But that's the thing. I dislike the idea that it was leading to be what the game is, and it wasn't. Right? Yeah. And I'm not a person that doesn't think everything has to be the exact replica of what we enjoyed So, for example, a video game movie does not need to be the movie video game version, but this one kind of didn't really follow the tells of what the game did until Dawn. So then it really didn't really make sense to me, besides the choices that characters make and like the replaying of deaths and things like that, which could have been a good concept, but it didn't have to be until Dawn.
Yeah, for sure.
Next, upcoming actor award. So who you are keeping your eye on, someone you think is making big moves in the industry, and someone you want to keep seeing and hopefully get on the nominations.
Sure. So when you sent me these categories, I thought you and I were going to have the same person. So I'm going to be shocked if we don't, but who knows? For me, the actor to keep my eyes on that I'm excited for this person's career is David Johnson from The Long Walk.
That's mine too.
I knew it.
I knew you were going to put this because he is just so good.
He played the character of Petey perfectly. It was so good. I mean, the same way I said I don't use that word lightly when talking about Hamnet. I remember you and I saw this movie together. We left the theaters and we turned to each other, and the one thing that we just like had to get off our chest was how much we loved this actor. He brought so much joy to this character, so much tragedy to this character. He like at first I was wondering if it was just the character that I was obsessed with, because like he was the best part of the film in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized like you can't do that without acknowledging the actor's role in that.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you can give that role to any other actor and it would probably just be a really good movie or a great character. But Petey McGreaves was one of my favorite characters of the year.
Yeah.
Because he was so inspirational and then also so tragic. And David Johnson's portrayal was just
Well, it's
perfect.
just how David rolled with it, right? Like
Yeah.
you're seeing characters walk. That's all they're doing.
Yeah.
Our scenery is just them walking and walking and walking, changing from light to day to night. And he is holding on for dear life, that positivity, that like really truly one of a kind soul that you get from characters who are uplifting everyone around them, trying to, even though he knows only one of them can last,
Yeah.
still trying to keep who he has just made as his best friend up with him till the very end. And even in the hard times, still staying true. And you can see the actor himself showing this character struggling at times, but still staying true to it.
Yeah.
And I had the honor of seeing him last year in Alien Romulus,
Yes.
playing as David. And not David, sorry, Andy. His name's David. Andy was a phenomenal recognition of his skills as an actor, and not many people really gave it the attention that it deserves. And I really think he's going to do great things.
I was gonna say, so you've seen him twice now, and both times you're just like drawn to that actor, not even just what the characters are.
Long Walk just kind of put the cherry on the top for me to be like, yeah, this is the actor.
And like you said, like Petey McGreaves was trying to put on a happy face for a lot of these other guys, especially Ray. But you can tell he was not fully thinking that. He was slipping at moments. But you see that in the actor's face. Like you see it in his acting. That Petey is smiling, but he doesn't want to in this moment. But he also, he said the character is like, I have to smile. I have to look positive. I have to be positive because, you know, that's what's keeping him going, keeping him alive. And you see that all over this character. It's just phenomenal.
Shout out to you, David. Keep doing it.
David, you know, hopefully
awesome.
We can have you on the pod in like 10 years or something when we make it. And we can show you this clip.
Just go back to this. But moving on to the next award, an award that actually we decided together because I feel like on this podcast, me and Brian have been building this together from the ground up. Also in our daily life, I think we're just two peas in a pod, two amigos, just really trying to figure out what's next in the world.
Yeah.
And some might consider us a dynamic duo. So we decided we should both agree on who the dynamic duo award goes to.
And there were a couple dynamic duo options this year. You might be thinking, oh, like it's just one or the other. Like, no. So
there were a lot. I mean, like we talked about, and some nominated in these, like we had
like in Sinners, you have Michael B. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan as Smoke and Stack. That's a dynamic duo right there.
For sure, a dynamic duo. Then you have One Battle After Another with Sensei and Leo, which, again, both great characters. But we agreed on what it should be.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the honors.
I mean, hey, we were just talking about them, so let's bring them back. We've got Ray and Petey, Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson in The Long Walk.
You thought we weren't going to talk about Cooper? Yeah, I was holding back for this award.
I was going to say, I also didn't want to mention Cooper until this, because Cooper, also phenomenal in this movie.
Cooper, you were amazing, and it's just both of the energy that they had together. Again, that's like true. That's the sentiment of it, with like the motivation that they had on this walk, the holding each other up. Him going through this spiral of like, no, I'm back to my square one. I don't need anyone. Like, I can't believe this guy's helping me. To then realizing, no, like the human connection is what keeps us going. And it's really hard to know that only one of us is going to make it at the end. But I'm glad that you were on this path with me, on this walk. Yeah. This very long walk.
The long walk. Their bond was beautiful, and it was really the heart of the film. And it was my favorite part of the film, just because I don't know. I feel like when you watch a movie like The Long Walk, you don't go in, or you kind of go in like almost placing yourself in their shoes. So I was thinking what I would do in their scenario. I don't think I would make friends. I would be in competition with everybody. And two, I'd be afraid that they're all going to die soon, or I'm going to die soon. So what's the point? But that's why I think it's just beautiful that these two guys, minute one of seeing each other, are like, nope, we're going to make friends and we're going to do this together.
And I would even say Ray at first didn't really want to make the friend. He was like, okay, these are the guys, these are people I can kind of be around with and I can make jokes with. But at the end of the day, I'm winning. Yeah. But Petey just has that kind of personality to him. It's like, I don't care. You don't want to be my friend. Yeah. I'm going to show you that you're wrong.
We also find that, I mean, Petey could have done it on his own because he was just walking the whole time. You see people kind of diminish over time. Like when they're on like mile 2 something, people look tired. Petey never looks tired once in that movie. But also Ray would not got into the final 2 if it wasn't for him.
Yeah, and some might say that Petey couldn't have gone to the end without Ray, because having someone to take care of and support gave him that motivation to keep walking.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't a physical battle, it was a mental battle.
But who's to say he didn't have anything to, hold him up mentally or emotionally, rather than have gave him a reason to stop walking then and there? Because in the beginning, he truly didn't really have a purpose, right? Yeah. For the walk anyways, until he got one.
Yeah. And then, if you're going to walk 360 miles side by side with somebody, you got to be a dynamic duo.
So shout out to them. Well deserving of the role.
Like both, like when we give this award, it's to both Ray and Petey and Cooper Hoffman and David Johnson.
Yes.
Like 100%. Very much so.
You guys have to cut it in half and split it. No, it'd be cool if it was like 2 magnet awards that like connect together. And then they pull apart. Yeah, that's cool.
When we get physical awards in a couple of years, we'll do that.
We'll do that. We'll just mail it to them. And then,
I like it.
Okay, last one. This is the White Boy of the Year award.
The White Boy of the Year award. I couldn't pitch this one.
You've been really out there gunning and putting yourself out there in the movie world, really trying your hardest. And if that, maybe not trying at all and just enjoying making films. And you have movies coming out earlier within the years and movies coming out in the future. I don't see you ever stopping making movies. And we all know who the White Boy of the Year is.
We all know. The internet's been talking about this man for months now, if not years.
And this White Boy is Brad Pitt.
Clearly it's Brad Pitt in F1.
Brad Pitt F1 with the chains on his neck.
Oh my God. What was going on with him?
Oh my goodness.
What a great time with him. He was so great.
He was so good. Did we just snub? We just did a snub right here. We won't talk about that.
Listen, we'll talk to Timothy when we play Fortnite with him. We're gonna be playing Fortnite with him in like an hour.
We can talk about this
we can
over
talk
for
to him.
a Fortnite triples.
But I also have another one, but I don't want to reveal it until we get to our final category.
That was the final category.
Dude, we have the underappreciated.
I underappreciated the award. Was that on purpose?
It
I don't know. I'll
was.
never tell you.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Underappreciated award. What do you give that to?
I'm giving this to the movie Twinless. You didn't get to see it.
You've talked about it a lot. And
Twinless went under the radar tremendously all across the board. I don't know anybody else who saw it besides me and the 3 people I saw it with. Twinless written and directed and starring James Sweeney. He's like 35. He's gonna have a great career. Before I nominated David Johnson for like the person to look out for, it was James Sweeney, because he's been a writer director in the past where he also stars in his films, and they're all really quirky and great. Twinless was phenomenal, and to give a little shout out, my other white boy of the year is Dylan O'Brien. Dylan O'Brien in this movie was just so great. Someone makes a gay joke at James Sweeney's character, and he turns and just punches him in the face. Like,
awesome.
But he's also the type of guy to be like, no, I don't do that. That's gay. Like, it's just like this weird character that he's playing, but he's just low-key based. Like,
so, hey, that white boy aura. What
exactly. But yeah, Twinless was just phenomenal. James Sweeney is gonna have a phenomenal career. I'm excited for that. And it's something that when I saw the Oscars come out and Twinless wasn't even mentioned anywhere, I was very disappointed because it was one of my favorites of the year.
Sure.
Yeah.
And for me, I think I feel similarly to not being mentioned anywhere. Like, where's the talk about this movie is Black Phone 2.
Sure.
I think Black Phone 2 kind of changed the industry for horror movies, and I don't really feel like I'm getting enough of that conversation from anyone around me anyways, because it's just, so it's the continuation of the first one.
Yeah.
Obviously with the part 2, with the same actors aged up, which is what are the chances that you actually really get that? It's really hard, but they had it, they worked with it. And where the first one plays so much with one protagonist, now you're following the other in a site that I never expected that you would get. And in Black Phone 2, they have a dream sequence in which I think that they did so much more entertaining and captivating than I've ever seen in any movie, even Nightmare on Elm Street, which I know will get me a lot of flack and as a hot take. But the way that they did the dream sequence, in a sense that it kind of changed the film grading to look staticky and to, you know, make you feel like when this character is in the dream world, which would be Gwen, is in the film world or the dream world, she's seeing it different from what her brother sees or anyone around them. And when Ethan Hawke's character is running around going crazy and like basically back from the dead haunting them, him and Finney, or her and Finney, it's just so cool to see them do shot for shots. Then they have little tropes that they're playing on, like with a glassy mirror, and when the breeze fades on the cold window, you see like the Black Phone's character, what is he called? I forget his name. The grabber. The grabber's face on the window. Genius. All right. And I love Finney, and I think Finney was great as a main protagonist for the first one. Yeah. But it was really cool to see him in the second take more of a supporting role for his sister. Sure. Because Finney is going through this survivor guilt and this kind of like, I don't want to think that was so traumatizing. I can't really be myself anymore, and I'm scared. And him trying to figure out how to deal with all these emotions that one would in this traumatizing event. And you have Gwen, who's really trying to support her brother, but also become her own person, who now is taking the leading role and having to struggle with now being haunted by the grabber herself. Sure. So fun. So good.
It sounds good. I mean, you know me, I'm not a horror person. Black Phone trailer scared me, so I was like, nah, not for me. But, you know, hey.
I recommend.
No nominations at all?
None.
That's tragic.
Same for
But,
Sinners.
Yeah.
I'm not Sinners. Twinless.
Yeah.
Two twins in my head.
Sinners is like, nope, quite the
And
opposite.
you know what? I'm gonna make a comment on that. Now that my brain got confused for a second. I feel like there was a lot of, this year had a lot of similarities, right? You had a couple of twin movies, a couple of dynamic duos, a lot of really emotionally challenging films that made me want to cry.
Yeah, I'm wondering if these are just patterns that we're noticing now, or just like, I don't know, because the fact that you and I watch Train Dreams and Hamnet like back to back, I think most people weren't doing that. So if you watch them weeks or months apart, you don't see that connection.
Sure.
But you and I were like, oh my God, a lot of heartbreaking movies this year. And it's like, maybe
yeah,
if you look at the past, maybe
you just turn your brain on and we think, but hey, it was awesome.
I like that for the most part, we just kind of got a lot of new things in a sense, like Sinners. Like, granted, Hamnet is like, the story of Hamlet and like William Shakespeare and all that. But like, I think it really does a great job.
Yeah.
I think we learned a lot of things. Like, I think we learned that new and original projects are way more entertaining than just the next franchise or something based off of another thing.
And you keep hearing in the industry that a lot of people nowadays are like, there's no original ideas out there. Everything's been done. And I just don't think that's true. I think like you're always going to run into similar concepts and tropes and ideas. Like, that's normal. That's fine. That's great. We like to see some things that remind us of a different movie. Like, if I'm watching something and I'm like, oh, that kind of reminded me of that scene in Jaws, like, that's fine, right? That's not a big deal. Like, homages are good. I think original ideas are going to have some, resemblance to films that we've enjoyed and we've seen, but the true ones stand out.
Yeah.
And I think we saw that in all these categories.
Exactly.
All these Best Picture nominees.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I know Frankenstein is based off of, Frankenstein. But it even that movie did its own take on it, the story. So it wasn't exactly like, I want people to explore new original ideas, even if you're borrowing something like the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Intertextuality is part of creating art. You're going to be borrowing from things that you have seen and witnessed, so I don't think that's a bad thing. Sinners doesn't come from nothing. It comes from a lot of different things. It comes from Ryan Coogler's experiences listening to Delta blues and vampire movies. Like, it's borrowing those two things. He didn't just create vampires, but that's how you get these amazing movies. We borrow from the culture, we borrow from our experiences, and then that's what you get. You get really great original concepts. I really liked the Oscar movies this year. There are some stronger, weaker years in the past and everything. I don't know if this is the best year that we've ever gotten. However, I'm very satisfied with the Best Picture nominations and all the other nominations.
I think it's a very strong year, and I'm going to say it's the best year because you, the audience, got a vote in it. And I'm a sucker for all of you. So that was a great time with all of you. It was so fun talking about all these awards and kind of getting an idea of what might win the Oscars, how we feel, and how you, the audience, feel.
Yeah, folks, please let us know what we missed. Like we said, there are tons of movies that we have not even kind of discussed today. We didn't discuss a lot of the other nominations, the other categories. And there are plenty of movies that didn't make our honorable mention that definitely came out that you guys want to talk about. So please let us know in the comments on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube. Find us on our own socials and DM us. We just want to hear from you guys. We really love the community that we're building, and it just makes the conversation that more fun.
Yeah, and again, we couldn't do it without all of you, so thank you for anyone who participated, anyone who might hear this and go, I want to participate for the next one. And hey, we have a whole year now to watch all these movies coming out and have this same conversation next year. Yeah. So if there's any categories that you really like that we gave new awards for, let us know. And if there's some that you have in your own ideas that you're cooking in your creative ideals, send them to us. We're always looking for any fan feedback into what we're doing.
Before we close out, I just want to ask you one quick thing. Any movies in 2026 that you're looking forward to?
Ooh, that is a very good question. I think there are a lot of movies that are coming out, and ironically for me, the first one that comes to mind is more nostalgic, which is, I mentioned before, Scary Movie 6.
Okay.
Like, I'm just excited to feel a movie in a comedic lens, talking about, again, the horror genre in a funny way, and blending two of my favorite things together.
Sure. For me, my most anticipated movie of 2026 is Project Hail Mary.
Yeah,
it's coming out in like 2 weeks, like literally in the middle of March. But it just looks crazy. You and I are both big Ryan Gosling fans. It's just a great time.
No, I'm definitely looking forward to that too. I knew it was going to be your choice, so I was like, let me shout out something else. But yeah, I think there's a lot of good movies coming out within this year.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what's next.
But folks, thank you for listening to us. It's been a lot of fun discussing the Oscars. We are going to be back next week discussing the Oscars a little bit.
Yeah, oh wait, what's that? I'm getting a getting a notification.
What do we get?
New challenger alert.
New challenger.
Whoa, I'm being told by our producers we're gonna have our first guest on the next episode.
Guys, we are gonna have our first guest. We are gonna have one of our friends on next week, and we won't get into much right now, but like, it's gonna be fun. We're gonna be talking about the Oscars post the Oscars ceremony. So today we talked about what we think's gonna happen. Next week we're gonna talk about what did happen. So
And
that's going to be a lot
we're
of
gonna
fun.
get some new, refreshing conversations from someone that is not us.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
if we are a soundboard to each other and we're an echo chamber, we're gonna learn right now.
Yeah, we're gonna learn today, but not today. It's gonna be a great time. I think you're all gonna love this guest. They are one of my favorite people in existence, and we're gonna keep it a secret until next week.
But guys, until then, this has been the first annual Coasting the Mediaverse Oscars predictions, our first Oscar episode. Thank you very, very, very much for listening to us. I am Brian.
And I'm Michael.
Catch you later, guys.